I'm very pleased to be here this morning and just to give you a little tour of Bridging and tell you some stories, how it started, and of all the people that we serve, a very diversified group of people. And I'm sure you'll enjoy your tour.
Fran Heitzman was working as a maintenance man at Pax Christi Catholic Church.
Now I'd like to introduce Father Tim Power. He was the pastor at Pax Christi Church when I was the maintenance man there. And that's actually where Bridging got started. A woman brought in a crib, asked if I could use it in our nursery. I said no, but just leave it here and I'll find a home for it. I called Catholic Charities. They were overjoyed to get a crib. So that afternoon I'm sitting there and I say to myself, why can't we do this? Why can't we take things people no longer need and just give it to somebody that needs it?
That one crib was the seed from which Bridging grew, as Fran began collecting and finding homes not only for cribs, but tables, chairs, sofas, and all kinds of household goods. Bridging's mission statement is very clear: extending community resources by distributing free beds, furniture, and household goods to people in transition.
We had a little ministry called Bridging that tried to get things from us who have too many things to people who really need the things. And of course, Big Old Heart here kind of gravitated to that group. The real thing was, Bridging did not belong in a church structure as church structures. There's committees, there's budgets, there's approvals, and this kind of thing needed a freedom. And Franny will say we kicked him out. We prefer to say we nurtured him along into an area where he could blossom. Whichever story you believe, Bridging is a good thing. And people still have too many things, and people still need things. So whatever story you believe, give the Bridging.
I always start the people out in what we call kitchen tables. These are all different varieties of kitchen tables, small ones, large ones, and it depends on the family. And the idea here is the client that is coming through and trying to get stuff for their family, they can pick and choose what they want. It's not, we'll give them this table. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. They know the size of their kitchen. They know what they can use and what they can't use. Then I take them here. This is all the electrical stuff. Lamps, toasters, vacuum cleaners, a little bit of everything here. All this has been tested electrically before it goes on the floor. No sense giving somebody a lamp that does not work. That doesn't make any sense. So we test everything electrical before it goes on the floor. And we get into the dresser section. Now you can see the great variety of dressers that we have. I want you to pay a special attention to these dressers here. I can take you next door and I can show you our woodworking shop where we build these dressers. We get back to that dignity piece again. That's where this place comes in. This section here, all these rows all the way down are all couches and stuffed chairs. Now you can look and see, and there, I defy you to go down through there and find a piece of junk. It's all really very, very nice stuff.
One of the things that people need to know is Bridging really fulfills a huge need for people. The average client coming through here earns less than $15,000 a year. They do not have the financial resources to make their house a home, and that's where Bridging really becomes important.
They get everything they need to set up a household. Wait till I get you in the other room there and show you pictures, silverware, dishes, pots and pans and stuff like that. They get everything they need to set up a household, which is wonderful.
When you're falling on hard times, there's thankfully still in our world today some great organizations out there to help you. But often there are organizations that can help you at this point and at this point. But Bridging is appropriately named. I mean, it really does help folks in transition from what is usually a pretty tight or pretty terrible situation to something that's going to be a much better life for them.
I came to know Bridging when I first began to work with St. Stephen's 10 years ago, and I thought it was such a great thing because the city I came from, there was nothing available. I'd never heard of places that would give a family a house full of furniture, let alone, you know, not just a couch or a bed, but everything that they needed to get started.
I want to tell you my favorite story when I go out to speak. Little girl going through here with their mother, and they're given silverware. I'm standing right here. I'm standing right alongside this little girl, and she looks at her mom, and she looks at the silverware, and she says, "Just think, Mom, now we won't have to share spoons when we eat. We won't have to share spoons when we eat." You know what I did? I went home, pulled open our silverware drawer. There's 20 sets of silverware in there. What in the world do two 75-year-old people need with 20 sets of silverware? I stole 5 sets. It took my wife a year and a half before she even knew they were gone. So I repeat, every one of you has stuff that you no longer need.
How can you help? Volunteer. Volunteers are this organization's lifeblood, and Bridging relies on individual and group volunteers that donate an average of over 50,000 hours of service each year.
Without these volunteers, this place just would not run.
There is always a diverse group of volunteers giving their time on a daily basis. Sorting items, repairing furniture, assembling dressers, assisting clients with shopping, maintaining the facility, helping in the office, or picking up furniture. Make a donation. Bridging Inc. receives no government aid and relies solely on the generous contributions of others. There are numerous ways to donate. Volunteer. Deliver a donation to the Bridging Warehouse. Make a monetary gift to Bridging.
Well, all the operational costs for Bridging really come from private donations. When you look at the operating budget of Bridging, 25% of it is from foundation support, 25% is from corporate support, another 25% is just from individuals supporting us, and then the balance comes from special events, churches, civic groups, things of that sort.
From its humble grassroots beginnings, Bridging has grown into an organization of over 1,000 volunteers.
These are some of our wonderful volunteers that take people through on their shopping. And these people I call my modern day saints, because they are doing exactly what the saints did. And I love every single one of them.
I think it may have been the very first day that I volunteered. And we were over in the other building, and we were pretty close, and the clients came through pretty close to where we were. And it was just before Christmas, and a mother and her little girl came through. And they got an artificial Christmas tree and lights. And the little girl said, "Mommy, for the first time ever, we'll have our own Christmas tree with lights on it." Well, I'll tell you what, that makes you come back every week.
I am very, very proud of what all these people, the volunteers and the funders and the people that donate product to us, I'm so proud of what they have done. This is not a one-man show. You must understand that.
Fran Heitzman and Bridging Inc., serving families in transition, giving people back their dignity, one family at a time.
I took a woman through on her shopping, and when we got done, she came up to me and she said, "I want to give you a hug, and I want to say thank you to you, because you know what? You have given me back my dignity. You have given me back my dignity." Now, when you can do that for another fellow human being, just think what you have done. Just think what you have done.